Hello, Carnage Cravers. Welcome back to Carnage Corner. I am Ken Carnage, and it's time for another Thursday Throwdown. We're going to jump right into here talking about, going to go over Monday Night Raw. Sorry, that's where we're going to start. Let's see, they kicked off Raw. They had Big Cass come out and cut an okay promo. If this is the level of promo we can expect from Cass without Enzo, it's better Cass be seen and not heard. Maybe Paul Heyman can help him. And then, of course, Cass talked a lot of smack in his promo, and Big Show came out, and they had a little scuffle, and Big Show sent Big Cass packing. And, I mean, there's nothing wrong with this except for the fact that Big Show is sticking his nose in business that is not his. You know? Just mind your own business, you big beluga. It doesn't matter. It doesn't concern you. Oh. And then, of course, we went into a Hardy's promo. A Hardy's promo that had a lot of wink wink in it. You know, we have Jeff dropping lines that are lyrics from one of his songs. Come on, how self-serving are you? Not to mention Matt Hardy referring to them saying that they are somewhat broken due to the effects of the match last night. Come on now, seriously, either do it or don't. Stop teasing it. Just stop. Do it or don't. Shit or get off the pot, please. Okay? Alright. So, and then of course the, in the course of that, damn, excuse me. In the course of that, Gallows and Anderson came out. Gallows and Anderson talk a little smack. We have a match. Hardy's versus Gallows and Anderson. And Gallows and Anderson win. Pretty sure that's the way it should have went. Okay, and then the Revival comes out, and the Revival walks right past Gallows and Anderson to go and beat up the Hardys. I'm not really sure why they did that, but hey, whatever. Then we had a Miz TV segment where Miz handed out Mizzy Awards. Okay, I like Miz, but come on now. Mizzy Awards? Oh. Miz gave out a Mizzy Award for Best Supporting Actor, and he called it a tie and gave it to Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. What were they Best Supporting Actors in? How to Be Around Forever and Accomplish Nothing? Okay. And then, of course, I am not going to go into the long rhetoric he said before bestowing his trophy with a trophy, but that's what he did. He gave a trophy to Maurice. Not entirely sure what she did to earn a trophy, but okay. Hey, it's, probably not my business. That being said, Miz then bestowed a trophy upon himself. Because nothing says self-important like giving yourself an award. And then, of course, Dean Ambrose comes out and attacks Miz. And then Rollins comes out and attacks Miz. And then backstage afterwards, Dean Ambrose tells Seth Rollins, "I don't trust you, stay out of my business." Kind of ungrateful, but okay, whatever. We move on from there. We move on from there, and completely lost my place. I'm sorry. Yes, we move on from there. Sasha and what is that I keep hearing? Damn it! Shut up. I know what I'm doing. I'm sorry, one second. Would you shut the fuck up? I'm trying to do a show, damn it. I don't give a damn what you want to do when I'm done. You can talk to me later. Shut up. Damn it. Sorry. Voices in my head. back to the matter at hand. Thank you. So then we have Sasha and Bailey versus Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss for the 100th time. We don't need to see this anymore, guys. Bailey wins with a quick roll up. Whoop-de-frickin-do. Wonderful for Kurt Angle's illegitimate daughter, but we'll get to that later. So and then Kurt Angle comes out. He talks about Braun Strowman, how Braun Strowman refused medical help, and he doesn't know Braun's condition, and he doesn't know if we'll see Braun again, and yada yada, yada yada, yada yada. And then he brings out Lesnar, and wants to talk about who's going to be the number one contender at SummerSlam. And then Roman Reigns comes out, the cocky prick, and then Samoa Joe comes out. And this was interesting because Reigns wants to be number one contender. Brock seems to want no part of Reigns, telling Reigns that this is as close to this title as you're ever going to get. Okay, but Heyman wants Brock to fight Reigns. Joe comes out. Heyman wants Joe nowhere near Brock. Brock seems like he still wants to fight with Joe. So this is interesting in the fact that Brock Lesnar and his advocate are not seeing eye to eye, and Brock saw fit to take the microphone away from Paul Heyman and say a few words. And I liked this segment. I really liked this segment because we got to see something we don't normally see. We are seeing some fire out of Brock Lesnar. Brock looked pissed. He got nose to nose, ready to go right then and there with Samoa Joe. It's nice to see. You don't really see many people get under Brock's skin. This was nice. I like this. I hope we get Joe and Brock at SummerSlam. We don't need Roman. Roman can go, asphyxiate himself with a Roman candle for all I fucking care. Alright? But as it stands, Kurt Angle is going to have us see Joe versus Roman Reigns next week for the number one contendership at SummerSlam. So hopefully Joe chokes out Roman. Then we go backstage. Kurt Angle has a little talk with Corey Graves. About whatever it is they've been having going on. And then there's the whole idea of them going... Kurt apparently is going public next week with whatever the secret is. Oh my God! What could it be? I don't care. I have a theory, but we'll talk about that later. Seth Rollins backstage. He has a promo. Talks about Bray Wyatt. Really done with this Bray Wyatt thing. Oh, and then Bray Wyatt comes and speaks in riddles. And I'm so tired of Bray Wyatt speaking in riddles. Bray, stop speaking in riddles. Just stop. Just stop speaking. That'd be good. Just stop speaking. Just stop. Oh, and then of course the main event of Raw was Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins. Whoop-de-doo! Bray Wyatt wins. Who cares? I just... Who the hell cares? This is not how you end Raw. I mean, seriously, they should have ended it with the shit in the ring with Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle. That's how you should end it, on a high note, damn it. End it on something we care about. And this shit with Bray Wyatt beating Seth Rollins, who the hell cares? Oh. And then, of course, The Miz and his cronies come out and they attack Seth Rollins after Bray beats him. And Dean comes out and attacks Miz. And then we go in the back and Kurt Angle's on the phone. He's talking to somebody, talking about how we can go, we can do this together next week. We can go public together next week. Kurt, are you coming out of the closet, brother? Is that what's going on here? It's kind of what it sounds like, just a little bit, I don't know. And then to go a step further, the last thing he says to the person on the phone is, "I love you." Okay. So now we're going to talk theorizing here. I made a little joke about Bailey being his illegitimate daughter earlier. There's a theory out there that could be what this whole thing is, and that's why he makes comments like, "This could ruin my marriage. Or I'm going to lose my family." Okay. So that's possible, but at the same time, unlikely, seeing as how if Bailey was Kurt's illegitimate daughter, that transgression would have happened at a time when Kurt was not married to the woman he's married to now. So, what difference would it really make as far as his family is concerned? You know what I mean? So I actually think that my next theory is much more likely, especially seeing as how the rumors are that we are going to see at WrestleMania Kurt Angle versus Triple H. Now, if you are a longtime fan of WWE, you will remember that back in the 2000s, the early 2000s, there was a storyline in which the married couple, on-screen married couple, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, married on screen, dating off screen. Okay, Triple H was feuding with Kurt Angle because Kurt Angle was in love with Stephanie McMahon, and Stephanie kind of was apparently kept saying, "Oh, we're just friends, we're just friends, we're just friends." That was how that one played out, and that's how that one kind of fizzled out and went away on its own. Now, it is possible they could revisit this. Now, imagine this for a second. Let's explore this logically. If it comes out that Stephanie McMahon is having an affair with Kurt Angle, if that comes out, okay, Triple H will be furious. Now, let's take it a step further. If Triple H starts, getting pissed off and wants to fight, what's Vince gonna do? If you think for 1 second Vince would ever side against his daughter, you're insane. So, I could theoretically see this coming out this way. I could see Vince stripping Triple H of everything. His title, his job, everything. Leading Triple H to once again be the person that we've seen him be before, the person who's coming in and attacking and fighting with everything he's got. He's got nothing left to lose. It could be done. I'm not saying it's a good idea, but from what I've seen so far, it's the most valid option, the most valid theory for what they've been showing us. I mean, sure, there are other ways they could go, but they don't make a lot of sense, these other ways, given the things that have already been said. So, I have a strong suspicion this might be something along the lines of what they do. Now, obviously, it's all a work. It's not real. Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, to the best of our knowledge, have no marital problems. And if they do, I'm sure Triple H, hops to real quick to fix them, because guess what? If those two split, he's the one who's fucked. Out in the cold. Bye-bye, Paul. Okay, so, but that's the theory that makes the most sense, at least for what I've seen. But I guess we'll find out next week, won't we? And then, of course, we'll go into SmackDown now. Oh, SmackDown did a nice recap of AJ's win in the Garden, winning the United States Championship from Kevin Owens. AJ comes out. He makes a call for an open challenge. Cena comes out. Cena's going to answer the open challenge. Kevin Owens comes out. Rusev comes out. Ass-fuckery ensues. And we don't get an open challenge match. Instead, we end up with a tag team match for the main event. So, Jinder Mahal takes on Ty Dillinger. I'm sure you all know how that went, because they had to have Jinder win, because if, God help you, if you have this world heavyweight champion who you have built up, who you have had beat Randy Orton twice, if you let him lose to the new kid on the block who only knows how to count to 10, well, that would just be stupid. And I know WWE does stupid things, but thankfully not quite that stupid. So, Jinder wins. Jinder cuts a promo. It's better off if Jinder doesn't talk. It's really, really better off if Jinder doesn't talk. And then the New Day comes out. And the Usos come out. Xavier Woods versus Jey Uso. During the course of that match, the referee kicked out Big E, Kofi, and Jimmy, which is fine. It's nice to see referees actually enforce the rules a little bit, you know. Xavier wins. And I was originally going to call BS on that, but truth be told, I don't care. I don't care. I'm kind of over it. Everybody seems to think that this gyrating gaggle of goofs is... They seem to think they're great. I don't know who's sticking, I don't know who's sticking acid in your bong water, guys, but I just, I can't get behind it. Sorry. I don't care. I'm at the verge of when I hear the New Day's theme, I'm about ready to, go get a drink, go take a piss, go somewhere where I don't have to watch these three buffoons, make a mockery out of the business that I love to observe. So, that's about where I'm at. We go to backstage with Shane and Naomi, where Naomi wants to know who her challenger will be for, what the hell's that next pay-per-view? God damn it. It's not Backlash, it's Battleground. I knew it started with a B. Alright, so she wants to know who she's facing at Battleground. And then all the women show up. All 6 women on SmackDown Live. This is one point where I would say the brand split might be a bad thing. Is for the women's division, because they don't have that many women on the damn rosters. And you split the women in half. I mean, and that's what you end up with. You have 6 women on the show. Exactly how much can you do in order to stop that from getting stale? And to make matters worse, excuse me, there are 7 women if you count Carmella. I wasn't counting Carmella. 7 women. 8 if you count Ellsworth, but he's been banned. So, but you're getting my point. It's not enough pieces, not enough ingredients to make something new week to week, So, but anyways, Shane says that at Battleground we will have a 5-way elimination match to decide the number 1 contender at SummerSlam. So, in other words, Naomi's not defending her title at Battleground, apparently. So, and then Carmella comes with a petition, from her attorney to have Ellsworth reinstated, and Shane rips it up. Now, before you call me out and tell me that I single out Daniel Bryan and I don't go after Shane, let me explain this, okay? Did you ever have a situation when you were young where mom way overreacted and gave you this horrible, stiff as hell punishment, and you run to dad and you're like, save me? And he says, he says no, because for the sake of his marriage, he has to back up your mother. It's kind of what happened here. I think Shane would have made a different decision, but Shane's not going to undermine the general manager, because if he undermines the general manager, he might end up without a general manager, and then he'd have to do all the work. So, yeah, I know why Shane did what he did. I don't blame him for it. The crappy decision was still made by the little Hobbit man. So, moving on from there, we have a nice interview segment with Baron Corbin. It was alright. Up until the end, when he said Sayonara Nakamura. I don't know which one of the zillion writers on the writing staff wrote that line, but fire them. Dear God, fire them. That's almost as bad as when they sent Roman Reigns out on TV to say "sufferin' succotash." And yes, it happened. And unfortunately, you couldn't fire the guy who wrote that line because it was Vincent fucking Kennedy McMahon, who apparently watched Looney Tunes that morning. I'm calm. I'm calm. So, Shinsuke and Corbin were supposed to have a match. Shinsuke attacked before the match could begin. They were beating each other up at ringside, beating each other up in the crowd. Finally gets broken up. Shinsuke gets in the ring. He wants to go, and Corbin leaves. Corbin says he decides he doesn't want to fight. Then we have the nice little segment backstage with AJ and Cena. Cena says some BS about respect, which is funny because in real life, Cena doesn't respect anybody that he doesn't have to. And then of course we go into the tag team match for the women, Becky and Charlotte versus Natalya and Naomi. Lana comes out. She distracts. She comes out. She causes a distraction, which allows Tamina to pick up the win. Don't care. Just don't care. We go backstage. Maria apparently is looking for Sami Zayn. Quite upset over the interruptions that has happened, because Sami keeps interrupting her stuff. It's and she doesn't find him. They go to commercial. When they come back from commercial, Sami has found Maria. She is with Mike, and they are making everybody who is uncomfortable with PDA want to vomit. So, that being said, Sami is like, hello, okay, and then they turn to him, and they want an apology. Sami says, you know what? You owe me an apology. You were in my way, which, I mean, that's kind of a douche thing to say. But, whichever, whatever. Maria slaps him in the face. Mike smashes a vase over the back of his head. It was actually over his shoulder blades, but Sami sold the back of his head like a moron. But, hey, whatever. I don't give a damn about this. Listen, I'm no Sami Zayn fan, but the guy's been around. He's been working hard. If you're about to saddle him with Mike Kanellis as a feud, like, seriously, he's just gonna pack up his prayer roll and go home. Oh. Alright, so then we have an episode of Fashion Files, which is Walker, Texas Ranger themed. Normally I do find the Fashion Files entertaining, but this was just bad. This one wasn't good. It featured the Hype Bros. They were in there bickering over over Raleigh eliminating Ryder from the Battle Royal. We don't care. Nobody cares about this. I've said for a while now that SmackDown Live is the better show. SmackDown Live has gone downhill as of late. It's not the better show anymore, unfortunately. I was happy for it. At this point, I only watch SmackDown Live for AJ. And speaking of AJ, Cena and AJ took on Owens and Rusev in the main event. And surprise, surprise, Cena and AJ Styles won. Wow. That is a surprise, isn't it? Alright, so and then of course after SmackDown you have 205 Live. 205 Live. Cesaro starts off on the phone with Titus. I'm really tired of Titus O'Neil. Alright, Daivari interrupts. Yeah, I don't care about Daivari either. Then we have Tozawa versus Daivari, which Neville interrupts, causing Tozawa to win by disqualification, but he gets his ass kicked by Neville. And then we have a press release from Drew Gulak, which I like Drew Gulak's work in the ring, but I'm not crazy about his ability on the microphone. Drew Gulak wants to have a 2 out of 3 falls rubber match next week on 205 Live with Mustafa Ali, who, coincidentally, I also saw this on Twitter earlier, apparently Mustafa Ali is petitioning Disney to cast him as Aladdin in the live-action Aladdin film they plan on making. Mustafa, you can barely play yourself. You think you're doing movies next? No, brother. No. Sorry. Not happening. Alright, moving on. Rich Swann has a match against Mario Connors. Alright. Perkins comes out before the match starts. Swann wins. He beats Mario Connors in about 3 minutes and 46 seconds. If you're asking me why I know how long, you're going to find out in just a second, because Perkins gets on the mic and starts talking shit, says, "Come on, Swann, I can beat this guy, and I can beat that guy a lot faster than that," and challenges Connors to a match. Connors, who clearly lacks a brain, after having a grueling match with Swann and losing, agrees to have a match with the fresh as a daisy TJ Perkins, and loses in about 28 seconds. As if that and of course Perkins walks away as if that proves everything. So Perkins clearly has not flipped back over to babyface. You know, he's still being a very arrogant and shady heel, which is fine. But, I mean, how stupid is Mario Connors? Oy vey. Okay, and then, Brian Kendrick comes out as Jack Gallagher. Okay. He comes out as Jack Gallagher. He talks some serious shit. Jack comes out. Jack says, Jack's promo was pretty good, defending himself, talking about how hard he worked to get where he is, and ending and capping it all off with a threat. And after the threat, he just punched Kendrick in the mouth. Pretty good. Until Kendrick managed to get the upper hand and lights Jack up with 2 umbrellas. How many times are we going to watch Brian Kendrick beat this man near to death with umbrellas? Which, that's a funny sentence to say. Beat this man near to death with umbrellas. Sorry, that makes me laugh. Alright, and then we go into the I Quit match between Noam Dar and Cedric Alexander. Noam Dar quits in order to save his arm. So Cedric Alexander wins. Afterwards, Noam Dar cuts a fantastic promo, kicking Alicia Fox to the curb, telling her that he was never actually interested in her. He used her because he knew that with her by his side, he would get a lot more attention and a lot more screen time, this, that, and the other. But now she has become more trouble than she's worth because of her obsession with Cedric Alexander. I thought it was a perfect way to end this freaking hoopla. And now we can go on and watch Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar do more serious things and just send Alicia away. See if OVW needs somebody. Just send Alicia away. Okay? So, that's how they closed out 205 Live. And last but not least, NXT. NXT opened up with a match between Aleister Black and the debuting Bobby Fish. This was a great match. Lots of great striking, very much martial arts based. Black comes away with the win. Aleister Black still undefeated. I really, really like watching this guy work. He's very good. I look forward to seeing matches between him and people like Finn Balor, Samoa Joe. Shit, I'll watch him fight Brock Lesnar. And I think it would go very well because his striking is phenomenal. I think, despite the fact that Brock is the bigger man, I do believe it would definitely be believable for Black to give Brock a fight. So, and then we had a Mae Young qualifying match between two people we've never heard of, Vanessa Bourne and Jamie Hatchie. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. The announcer said it one way. Mauro Ranallo said it another. So, I don't know. Vanessa Bourne wins. Nobody cares. We don't care. Not one little bit. No. Sorry. All right. So, and then, of course, Bobby Roode is having a talk with William Regal. And together they hammer out that next week on NXT, the undefeated Drew McIntyre will go one-on-one with the undefeated Killian Dane to decide who will be the number one contender for TakeOver Brooklyn. I have to say, as much as I like Killian Dane, I don't like his chances in this match. I think this one's going to McIntyre. And if it goes to McIntyre, I think McIntyre will beat Roode. Okay, Johnny Gargano comes out, cuts what was a very heartfelt promo. Unfortunately, nobody gives a damn about Johnny Gargano. So then we go into our main event, Heavy Machinery versus Authors of Pain. This was a good match. When I say a good match, I don't mean that from a technical standpoint. I mean just from a sheer brutality standpoint. These were big guys, and they were landed and stiff, and it was nice to watch. I was pulling for Heavy Machinery in this match. I like those guys. They're new. They got a nice little gimmick going on for them. But AOP won. They retained the tag team championships, which, hey, that's fine. AOP is great. But I do like Heavy Machinery, and of course we ended out the show with Sanity coming out and making their intentions known that they wanted to go after the AOP's NXT Tag Team Championships. Of course, Sanity being Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane. So, and that is it in a nutshell. So that was it for this week in pro wrestling. Next week we will see what happens with Kurt Angle's marital problems. We will see just how much the goat-faced gremlin will abuse his power when he comes back from babysitting his little vegan. And, well, we'll find out who's going to be the number one contender for both the NXT and the Universal Championships in August. So, until next time, I am Ken Carnage. This is Carnage Corner. And Carnage is right around the corner.